correct. That's my socialist 555555. What? What do you mean there's no more Social Security? All those years in that office and I don't have no darn Social Security checks. Well, yes. Yes, I do know what baby boomers are. Yeah, Speak up, honey, I can't hear you. Oh, yes. So, well, what do I do now to afford all this stuff I bought? Go back to work. But, welcome back, guys, to Advice Talks. I'm your host, Advice Doc. And yes, I did clickbait this video. I certainly did. But today we're really going to be talking about money. More importantly, about your retirement. And I know what you might be thinking. I'm like 20. I'm not worried about retirement right now. And that is wrong. The best time to start thinking about your retirement is now, because now is when you're going to be putting back the money to retire. I was recently able to qualify for my 401k after being with my current job for 6 months. You know, of course, I worked at Lowe's, and they had the open enrollment for the 401k program. So that got me thinking, man, I should make a video about retiring, because that's really important. I want to be able to be 60 and not have to worry about where my money's going to come from, you know? And I think everybody wants to have that feeling. There's kind of 3 different ways you can retire. You can just have money. You can just be born rich. Just have wonderful boatloads of money. That's probably not you or anybody watching this video. The second way you can retire is just with Social Security. There's kind of a big issue with that I'll get into later on. And the final and third way you can retire is with Social Security and a 401k or savings account or something such like that. First thing I want to start off with is Social Security. There is a really big misconception around Social Security. There's always been, you know, Social Security scares where people say, oh, you're not going to have Social Security when you're older. It'll run out of money, such. However, this is actually starting to become more and more true. The reason why it's true now and not then is because of a thing called baby boomers. You might have heard me mention it in the beginning of the video. Baby boomers are the children of all the veterans and warriors who came back during World War II. People who came back decided to get married, get hitched. They had a bunch of babies, a bunch of kids. They were called baby boomers because how many kids they all had. So the baby boomers are considered my parents and possibly your parents and people around that age. The issue with that is that there are now starting to be more baby boomers getting old than there are babies and kids like my age and your age. So this presents a problem for Social Security, because Social Security works like this. I put money in now, and it's actually not really for me, even though it's going into my Social Security. The money that I'm putting in now is going for whoever is withdrawing Social Security at this time. So this would be my grandma or grandfather or people around that age who are already retired. The government is keeping track of how much I'm putting in, so when I retire, I get that amount back. But the money I'm putting in right now is actually not going to me. It's not being stored somewhere. It's going to go to me. So the reason why there's an issue is because there are more baby boomers than there are younger people, which means there's going to be more money taken out of Social Security than more money put in when all the baby boomers get ready to claim retirement. So there is a high possibility that there might not be a Social Security around when we retire, which is very concerning because I want to be able to retire very young. and should be very concerning to you. Those are just one of the kind of few issues with Social Security. I won't go too deep of how some people get claims and they can't really get their Social Security at all or something like that. I'll let you look into that. I'll just cover the basics in this video, so to kind of help you get started in the right direction. The one thing I want to talk about that's really important are 401ks. So 401ks kind of work like this. I get a certain percentage out of my check taken out and put into an account. The account, over time, takes the money and invests it everywhere into different places until I get ready to retire. So that could be 30 years, that could be 40 years, that could be 50. It just depends on when you retire. So that money stays there, and normally there's a penalty if you take the money out early or something like that. You don't want to take it out early, regardless. But the money stays there, and while it's there, it's being invested into things. It can be stuff like government bonds, stocks. It can be just invested in things like just strictly gold if you wanted to, and whatever you choose. I'm doing it with Wells Fargo, and one of the things I noticed for when I signed up was that they had an option where they can choose what they think is appropriate for you. If you really don't have the time to research, I would suggest that you do something like that, because you can. So, you know, if you don't have the time to just research what you want to invest in, they'll do it for you. But I would highly suggest finding out what you want to invest in, because it is, after all, your money, and you want to know where your money's going. Kind of two reasons on that too is because you don't want to invest in something that you don't believe in. Like if your money's being put into a company that kills animals or something, you are a vegan and you love, or you're a nature enthusiast and you love animals, so you don't want to invest in a company that kills animals, do you? Another reason is sometimes they might invest it in high risk stocks, which basically means there's a great high chance you're going to make a lot of money off of it. There's also a really high chance that you're going to lose a lot of money off of it. So lower risk stocks are better. Bonds are even greater. Bonds don't make a whole lot of money in a short period of time, but they are the best. A government bond kind of works like this. It's basically like, I'm the government, and I say, hey, can I borrow $5 for like a little while, and I'll give it back. But when I give it back, I'll give you a little bit more than $5. And so I'll give it back to you at 2% more. I don't even think government bonds are that high right now. But basically they give you interest on it. So you let the government borrow money, and when they give it back to you, they give you back more money than you let them borrow. So slowly over time, you begin to accumulate more money than you actually put in. And over the course of 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years, that begins to add up quite significantly. Plus, you gotta remember, you're also putting in more money every paycheck, every pay cycle. So you have that, you have the interest, and then in my case, like I said, I'm with a company that comes in with me or doubles my whatever I'm putting into my own 401k, which basically means I put in, I think 4% is what I did. And so they're gonna put in 4% too. So they're basically gonna give me free money to retire. And so I'm getting a total of 10% put in, which I think that's anywhere from like, I can't tell you the percentage thing, you know my check. But you get the point. That basically gives you more money for retirement purposes. And that's just free money. That's your job. Some jobs will give you to retire, and it's very important. You don't want to get older and just be sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, or how you're going to afford things that you want to buy or take care of yourself. I also want to talk about investing. So 401k on its own is investing, but it's really investing not even for the long term, but for the end game. That's when your money's making money for you, and you're sitting on the beach drinking, not having to worry about going back to work every year. Investing can be done now to help you with things now. So I started investing when I was 17. I did it with micro stocks, because you don't have to be 18 to invest in micro stocks. Micro investing kind of works like this. Let's say a certain stock is $200 a share. That means to buy one share, I have to have $200. Got to turn my phone off. But I have to have $200 to buy just one share of that company. Um, let's say you don't have $200 to buy one share of that company. Well, you can micro invest, and what that means is you buy however many percentage of the share you can buy. So let's say I can only buy $1 worth of that share. I buy $1 worth of the share, and 200 other people buy $1 worth of that share. So all together we make $200, and all of us together can buy that one share. So if the share does good, we each get a portion of it. If the share does bad, we each lose a portion of the share. So you can invest in the bigger risk, or the bigger number stocks like Google and Samsung if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it like that if you wanted to. And there are some good stocks out there that just are very well at keeping their stock prices up, so they make money, but it's too expensive to buy it right off the bat. Unless you just have, a couple thousand sitting around the house. But yeah, I would certainly look into just investing on your own, mainly micro stocks. You can do it all on your phone. I would probably suggest Acorns. Acorns is a really good app. So you can do it to where every time you spend money somewhere, it saves your loose change. And what that means is, so let's say I spend 89 cents on buying something. It'll take the remaining, what is that? 18 cents. Oh my gosh, can't do math. It'll take the remaining 11 cents and deposit it into the Acorns account. And from there, it will automatically invest in stocks. And you can set it to be conservative, moderate, or aggressive. And conservative means, you're just investing in safe stocks. It'll take a while for you to make money, but you won't really lose any money. Aggressive is the exact opposite. You can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money. It just depends. And moderate, is what it is. It's right in between. And you can do that. You don't have to worry about watching the stock market and all that and what businesses are doing good. It does that all on its own for you. So all you do is just, go about your normal day, swiping your debit card and go save it up. And you can withdraw anytime. So if I put money in, let's say I just put $20 in, I'm like, oh, I need that $20 back out. You can withdraw it back out. It's a great way to just, put money on the side. If you think about stuff like doing vacations or something, you can start at the beginning of the year, put money in, and by the time you get to whenever you're going to take the vacation, you'll have the right amount of money to take a pretty nice vacation. It's really something you should look into if you want to have a nice little pocket full of money. One of the other things that I wanted to mention to you was credit. I know if you're like me, a lot of people will tell you, make sure your credit right, don't mess up your credit, blah, 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 blah. What that basically means, what credit part is credit is like your word. So if you have low credit, people won't believe you. If you have good credit, people are more likely to believe you. That's the kind of analogy I'll use. So if you go up to a car dealership and you want a car, and you say, well, I don't have $30,000, can I pay for it monthly? They say, sure. What's your credit? And so your credit, if it's low, tells them he may not actually be able to pay us. If it's good, it says, well, okay, well, he's had a history of paying people, so sure, we don't mind giving him the car, letting him pay us every month, because he's had a history of doing that. So if you have bad credit, you'll probably get denied. And if you have good credit, you'll get accepted. You'll be able to do stuff, not only like take out cars, but home loans, if you're going to school, certain school loans, that all depends on your credit. Even something as simple as going to Verizon Wireless, getting out a cell phone if you want to pay for it. They'll run your credit because they're like, well, does he actually pay people, or does he just take the stuff and then not be able to pay for it and you have to come get it back? They don't want to go through that whole process. They want to know that when you sign that contract, you're actually going to be able to pay for what you say you're going to pay for. And if you keep your credit in check, you will be able to afford a lot of things. and it comes in handy, you know, whether you may have to borrow a small time loan or, like I said, a loan for a house. Your credit will help, and you can do. A lot of people don't realize the different ways you can actually raise your credit. The safest way that I suggest is doing a credit card. Now, some people might tell you that's wrong. Don't get a credit card because you spend all the money. What you want to do is you want to get a secured credit card. The difference between, say, a regular credit card and a secured credit card is that a secured credit card, let's say, I know some of the simplest ones are, I'll give, let's say, Discover. I'll give Discover $200 and say, hey, here's $200, and they'll give me a card and say, you can spend $200 however much you want, just put it back on there before the end of the month, preferably. That's what you'll want to do, preferably. So you keep your interest rates low and all that good stuff. So the $200 that I gave them was kind of like front money, saying that, hey, in the event that he doesn't pay his $200 that he would owe us, well, we have it right here, so it's fine. If you ever close the account, you get the $200 back, and every time that you spend money on the card and put it back there on time, you raise your credit up. And it's coming out of your pocket, you know, the original $200, but you're getting the $200 on the card. So you can spend, you know, and I would recommend spending it on things like bills. Like, let's say, you know, you have the light bill. Well, just pay the light bill and then put the money back on the card. Just doing that, because you were already going to pay the light bill anyways, raises your credit up. So by the time you're, you know, 30 or something, you can have your credit in the 700 and 800 digits, and you can go in there and buy the smoothest house in the world. But that's just something you want to keep considering when you're considering your future. I think that is all for today. You know, this really quick, brief video. Hope it really gets you thinking about your future. I'm not really sure what I'll do next week. I may go more into the relationship aspect, but I thought it would be a good idea to kind of touch on the money side of things, because it is really important that you think about your future now and not be 30 and have to start your whole life career over because you realize you're not going to have enough money to retire. That is very sad and depressing. I hope you guys really enjoyed. Like always, leave a like, feel free to subscribe and comment on what you felt about the video. If you thought I was completely wrong, if you'll never invest in anything ever in your life, whatever it is, let me know. Thank you.
Spirits, I want to see you smile, but no, that means I'll have to leave.